You ever thought you might be in a world where everything isn't what it seems, as if you're living in the world of Wizards of Waverly Place? Have you ever thought that maybe your brain is tricking you into thinking everything is a reality when really you might just be living in a dream? Well, if you ever had those thoughts, we're going to take a deep dive today on you might actually be living in a dream. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Grab a chair because your mind might be blown. Grab some popcorn because you're going to be very hungry. Make sure you hit that noti bell, subscribe, and hit that like button because it helps the channel and we're trying to grow. And let's go ahead and dive into the video. Peace. You're a dream of the universe. You're a dream of the universe, according to science. All right, what the fuck is this shit talking about? What do you mean?
Everything you think about yourself and the universe could be an illusion. As far as you know, you are real and exist in a universe
question
that was
everything.
born
I'm not
14
gonna
million
cap.
years ago and that gave rise to galaxies, stars, the Earth, and finally you. Except, maybe not. You may actually not exist for real.
I was created by God, so anything you saying, I don't really give a fuck about. I'll be honest. But we gonna still see.
The dream of a dead universe. You and everything you think exists. Crazy as it sounds, this may be an unavoidable consequence of our best scientific theories about the universe. Okay, this is a bit much. Let's start.
Is that Yoda? He got Yoda chiller. Are you good? Did he just get in a
We need to understand three concepts for this idea to make sense.
Oh, they got a car accident.
The arrow of time. What distinguishes the past from the future? Put a drop of red ink into a glass of water, and you see the ink spread until it fills the container, but never the opposite. Colored water where ink spontaneously concentrates and becomes a drop at the surface again. Time always seems to flow in the direction in which the ink spreads. But if you take a microscope,
that is true.
All you will see will be a swarm of molecules colliding at random. There are no rules, no forwards and backwards. Every individual motion that happens can occur in reverse. But we perceive a sort of arrow of time that makes things happen in one direction. How does this phenomenon occur? Well, this arrow of time is not actually fundamental, but a matter of probability. When ink molecules...
You know what's crazy? I always think life, like how I view life is just, life is probability. The probability something is going to happen, right? So like, how should I say it? I don't know how to explain it, but like, I know that if you do something enough, the probability is just gonna get higher, right? So like, let's say my car, right? I drive from point A to B every day, and I do the same drive every day. Each day, the higher is, how should I say it? I take my car from my house to work and back. I do that every day. Each day I do that, I know there's a probability that my car is eventually going to break down. And each day I drive it, the more likely the car is going to break down because of the wear and tear. I know that eventually it's gonna break, right? And I apply that to anything in life, right? If you have sex with somebody without a condom and you keep doing it, each time you do it, I feel like your probability of having a baby is going to be higher. If you have a friend and y'all are kikiing together every day, the probability of y'all getting tired of each other is going to increase. The probability of y'all finding problems, you see, like I apply it to everything in life. I'm not gonna lie. I think life is like a bunch of probabilities. Now, I don't make it known. I'll just be like out here, oh, now they're gone. You know, you're getting closer to that. Nah, I don't do that shit. But like, to some degree, I feel like there is probability
spread to fill a glass.
introduced to life.
There are many different slots.
I don't know if that correlates to this, but you know, I just went on a little rant.
Possibilities to combine them. And just like your chances of winning the lottery grow the more tickets you have, the probability that ink molecules will end up filling the glass is much higher than the probability that they'll concentrate in just one spot. So it's not that the ink forming a drop again is forbidden by the laws of physics, it's just extremely unlikely. To see it, you'd have to wait about 10 to the power of 100 sextillion years, a 1 followed by 100 sextillion zeros. If you had this much time to spare, eventually, by pure random chance, you'd see a red blob form again. Actually, with enough time, you could see any shape forming, like, for example, a small, red, soggy brain. Okay,
not a red, soggy brain.
2. The far future of the universe. Our universe was born 14 billion years ago in the Big Bang. It expanded and evolved to
Cat. I was created by God.
give rise to the myriads of galaxies and things. In other words, the universe is kind of a glass of water with a lot of ink doing stuff. It has an arrow of time. But the universe is not a static glass. It seems to be getting bigger at an ever-increasing speed because of dark energy. Basically, everything in it is getting more and more diluted.
I feel like I'm in a science class, chat. I feel like I'm learning something right now. Like, I feel like we taking a trip through science class right now. Y'all feel it?
In about 100 trillion years, the last star will die. Then, few interesting things will happen for the next few decillions, vantillions, and googles of years. Eventually, the universe will be a dark place fully dominated by dark energy. A rapidly expanding ball of pure space, almost devoid of matter.
Do you think we will evolve enough to be like... Where do you think human life would be by then? Do you think like human life would be ended? Do you think we're gonna transcend and be something better? Like, where do you think human life would be that by then?
The death of everything, but dark energy has one last surprise for you. In a universe dominated by dark energy, space expands so dramatically that it creates a cosmic horizon around you, a border beyond which nothing will ever be able to reach you, not even light. So for every practical purpose, the universe has become a glass of finite size, about 36 billion light years wide, surrounded by an impassable cosmic horizon. Such a universe glass is basically a giant black hole turned inside out. We know that due to quantum effects, all black holes emit a tiny amount of particles, a phenomenon known as Hawking radiation. And so does our inside-out black hole. In the end, this radiation will fill the universe glass with particles again. At this point, so far in the future that giving you a number has no more meaning, we've reached the true final state. The universe has now become a closed box full of particles at an extremely low but finite temperature. And since they have a temperature, they undergo random motions. Or in other words, a glass filled with water and ink and an infinite amount of time ahead. Things are about to become interesting again. 3. Typing monkeys and fake universes. Eternity is a long
fucking time. The fuck?
So now, even the most extremely unlikely things can happen. The fluctuating particles are bumping into each other over and over and over again, creating every combination of particles that's possible. They're like a monkey typing at random on a typewriter. Almost all of the time it types gibberish. But with enough time, eventually it will write the first acts of Hamlet. And with even more time, the complete works of Eminem. If ink in our universe glass generates...
Eminem. We got Eminem in this bitch. He's gonna start rapping? Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Want to see me 6'9"? Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Want to see me 6'9"? I can't talk today. Fuck. Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Do you want to see me 6'9", 6" I'm gonna get this bar off. Hey, kids. Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Want to see me stick 9-inch nails into each one of my eyelids? Want to copy me? Do exactly like I did? Can't say a single word. I'm about to flip out in this island. Like, fuck, what the fuck?
What could they be? Well, a spontaneous fluctuation could give rise to a planet, or to a galaxy, or even to a lot of them. So maybe our universe has already ended.
Why that nigga walking like a pit? Hey, cruising down the street in my 6'4" looking ass. That nigga,
but one that fluctuated into existence by pure
chance. Look how he pulled up to the island. Look.
Not a universe that evolved from a Big Bang, but one that fluctuated into existence by pure chance.
Where the hell is that?
Like the drop of ink, will only exist for a while before dissolving again. Being random, pop-up universes could be similar to ours, but with funny glitches. In some of these universes, dinosaurs are right.
That dinosaur, it look like these dinosaurs are fucking the snails. This nigga is humping that nigga. That nigga over here.
Eating snails. In another, stars are made of blueberries. In another, you're wearing a funny hat. Scientists in such universes wouldn't understand those glitches, so maybe the greatest mysteries of physics are just nonsense bugs
levitating
of our pop-up universe. But not all possible fluctuations of our dead universe have the same probability of occurring. Smaller fluctuations are much more probable than bigger ones. A planet is more likely than a galaxy. But you know what's even way more likely? A human brain. Are you actually just a brain? You
I hope not.
Shit. You exist. But what else do you truly know? In the end, your brain is just interpreting signals from your senses and creating a world that you experience. So technically,
It's true. Cause chat, think about it. You know, if you block off your sense of smell, you can't really taste shit. Like I was watching Food Theory, and they were dealing with like the spiciest food, like hot sauce, and the nose plague is the only thing that really like prevented them from even feeling the hotness of anything.
you could be just your brain that thinks the world is real. And if we follow the logic of the ink in the universe class, in particular, you could be a disembodied brain that, just by chance, emerged in a dead universe with your complete set of knowledge and memories. This is a pretty bizarre idea, but if we do the maths, it's kind of pretty solid. Let's compare the number of brains inside bodies in a living universe with the number of naked brains in a dead universe. Let's go.
It's crazy to think about. I'm not gonna lie.
A total of 100 quadrillion humans will live around Earth, and that the same amount of people will live around every star in the universe. If we add this together, we get about 10 to the power of 41 brains inside bodies that will exist. However, in a dead universe that has had enough time to explore all possible fluctuations and that will exist forever, the number of naked brains that would emerge is, well, infinite. So the probability that you're a floating brain is not only vastly larger than the probability that you're a real human, it's so inconceivably larger that we can't even meaningfully quantify the difference. How do you compare a number to infinity? So, are you a floating brain that exists for one moment in time, then basically forever passes, and then you exist for another moment in time? Maybe not even in that order. Maybe your life happens backwards, and you just don't notice. Maybe you've lived trillions of times already. Are you the dream?
Isn't that what an old soul is? I don't know. I remember being called old soul, and how my grandma used to explain it was like you were reborn with a purpose. Like you weren't ready to die, so you were reincarnated because you still have, I don't know.
Of a dead universe? Really? Like, really? Well, probably not. First of all, there are a few loopholes.
See, all about probability.
Dark energy could behave completely differently from what we think today and lead us to another future. Or maybe our dead universe will be too motionless to allow the creation of brains, even with infinite time. Or maybe the universe will end up dying in another way. Our understanding of the cosmos doesn't have a solid enough foundation for anyone to worry if they're real or not. Loopholes aside, if you were a fluctuating brain, all the laws of physics stored in your brain would have originated at random and shouldn't bear any relation to the real world. But we just use those laws to prove that you're a floating brain. So even if you believe that you are a floating brain, you'd have to admit that you have no good reason to believe that you are actually a floating brain.
What? Now you got my brain all fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
Something about our theories about the universe. But in the end, it's just a really weird exercise in what you can do with physics. An exercise of what brains and bodies are able to think about. So don't worry. You're not a dream of the dead universe. Probably. At Cortisol, we love discussing topics like Boltzmann brains because we're convinced that taking science and philosophy seriously is really important for having a positive impact on the world. We're lucky because this is our job, doing something impactful we also enjoy. If you're also aiming to make a positive difference, where should you start? Well, we've noticed a lot of advice about having a positive impact isn't based on the best available evidence. Today's sponsor, 80,000 Hours, aims to offer some that is. 80,000 Hours is a non-profit career advice organization that wants to help people find fulfilling careers that also do a lot of good in the world. And their advice is free to read online without...
Well, if y'all want to go ahead and take part of that, go ahead. It might help you, but hey, we gonna go ahead and cut it here. But that's a lot to think about, you know, like it's crazy to think that we possibly could be just a floating brain and the brain is making all this around us like feel real, and it's really not. But like at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know how I got here. Listen, God put me here. I'm a human. I'm alive. So